Hello everybody. Been snowing and now it's real foggy and a little bit of snow. Been making my rounds and making sure everybody is compliant. It's real foggy. I was out earlier. And no, I haven't forgot about primitive skills. You better be learning that stuff. But that earlier walking around the line, and I didn't have my gloves on. So I'm walking around there and I'm like, boy, my hands are getting cold. And it's 34, floating between 32, 34 degrees, light breeze. Obviously the humidity's up there, but I'm gonna tell you what, I could feel that in my fingers. And you can get frostbite in a hurry out here, so you have to always have stuff with you. Of course, I've got tons of stuff. I just hopped out to go check a gate to make sure it was shut properly. And of course, wires were broke, so I had to fix that. And then I got my glove, but just a few minutes out there, well, my fingers were like red and starting to hurt. And I'm like, yeah, you dummy. Never think you're gonna be out for a minute. Always have some stuff carried on your person. If you're out driving in conditions like this, always have your headlights and stuff on. And I'm religiously always clean my front window and my two side windows, my headlights and my tail lights. I had about 6, 7, well, I measured 7 inches of snow on the hood of my truck this morning. So, and this is what, April the 30th? It's crazy. Only in Colorado, I guess. Always keep your windows and stuff clear. I have to keep snow build up away. I have emergency lights front and back. I have to keep those cleared out. So if I do have to turn them on, I had to do that yesterday afternoon on my way to my little casita. A little 2-lane road goes into town where I stay. Car, it just happened not too long when I was driving up on it. A little car from the skid marks. My investigative skills kind of kicked in. But the skid marks showed me that they were approaching a blind hill. Went to pass. And I guess an oncoming car. So they moved over right real sharp, lost control of it, hit the ditch and rolled that son, got on top of the barbed wire fence. Checked them out. They were okay, just had stupid written all over their face. But you never know. You gotta be safe when you're driving, especially these old country roads. They were okay. I was waiting on the wrecker and whoever else that would show up. So, but I sit there with my lights on just to let people know coming up on that blind hill there was an incident there. Had all the vehicles, even semis, slow down, you know, on approach. Had one guy in a pickup truck going about 90 miles an hour. Oh well. They all come in different forms and sizes. I'm sitting there thinking earlier, talking about different fire starting methods, and I was on one of the YouTubes and one of the Facebook groups, and they brought up fire piston. I've never had a fire piston, and as a means of starting a fire. And I thought to myself, well, I've got every other method. And then I said, well, fear of the unknown will create hesitation as well. Why not want to know various means of doing things? It doesn't have to be bug out. It doesn't have to be survival. It could be your daily life. I'm not telling you to go jump out of an airplane. That's something I had never done, but I have done some rescue and high angle rescue. I've had training in that, rappelling, swift water rescue. Had that. I wouldn't do it now. I'm not afraid of it. I just don't put myself in position to do that. If I had to do it, I would. Don't get me wrong, but I've kind of gotten out of that living on the edge stage, I guess you'd call it. But fear of unknown is like when I teach classes and stuff, my main topic and what I write on the board is ignorance. Ignorance is defined, and I had people wanting to whoop me. You call me ignorant? No. We're all ignorant in something. It's a lack of knowledge. That's all it is. And, I don't know how to use a fire piston. I'm sure it's pretty simple from what I've been studying. I don't know how to fly a plane. I'm typically not going to fly a plane. We're all ignorant in some form, way, or fashion. I got to get a couple more ferro rods. But I'm going to check in the fire piston, try it out. If I can never get a break and get back on my bow drill and friction fires, I'm going to do that. Trying to think, Larry Roberts had put, he got a YouTube video, and it's trying to find different rocks that create the most spark. So surely you would have a knife and a good tempered knife that you could strike and create a spark and start a fire. I don't know who that individual is. He's out there online. I don't know who it was. He had a video, like I said, that, you find different rocks. And a lot of times people that use rock and things like that to spark, to put on some dry tinder, cattail fluff. That's probably one of the best other than the cotton ball. And I talked about that the other day. And just try different things. The fear of the unknown will cause you to hesitate, just like knowledge. They had a post on Facebook earlier. It says, what is your key? What is key before you go into the wilderness? Or what is your primary thing? And I put on there the 2 Ks. knife and knowledge. You can do a lot of things with a knife. You can make a spear out of a knife. Put some distance between you and the predator. You got to, a knife can feather out a stick and cause scraping and stuff like that, so you have a better igniting material to start a fire. You can use the back portion of it, strike some rocks or something like that, and spark. Get some, get your fluff and get your powder, and then just grow up into your tinder, and you'll have your fire. It seems like every time I get on here lately, somebody calls. If I don't know the number, I don't know who it is, I don't answer it. Leave a message. If I like the message, I'll call them back. Knife and knowledge, 2 K's. That's what I stress to everybody. And back to the fear of the unknown. Try the stuff out. I mean, being versed in various different methods, and like I say, it doesn't have to be about bug out, survival, fire starting, it doesn't have to be anything you do in life. I've got to go through an extensive, I don't have to, I want to, because I don't know that much about it, but I want to get certification in it. So I got to go through an extensive course to learn this new part of the trade that I'm in. So, yeah, I'm kind of wondering if, if I won't make it, but I'm pretty sure I will. I've never failed at anything I set out to do, and I know if you get out there and learn something new, a new trade, or a new part of your job or experience, whatever, I always add to your experience. It's just like survival. The more you learn and the more you get comfortable, and then it becomes second nature, and then you alleviate the hesitation. The more you do that, I mean, you're going to be right there. It's like survival shows and stuff. Les Stroud didn't just like, boo, I'm going to make me a show. I know what I'm doing. He had years of experience. So did Bear Grylls. Like I say, I prefer Les Stroud over Bear Grylls, because for the common person, I think Les Stroud comes across to where it's more achievable stuff, and we're not rappelling downside the mountain using vines and all this stuff. Like I said in one of my other episodes or my videos, if I come up to an obstacle, unless I just absolutely life or death have to go up it or down it or whatever, yeah, I'll make do. I'll get through it. But if I'm out there and I'm trying to get to a civilized location or somewhere to survive, I'm not going to climb a mountain. I'm not going to hang, swoop between trees and all that stuff. I'm not going to do that. What else? I've got nothing but time. And yeah, I'd say I'm lost. I've got lost a couple times, but the first time I was like in a real wooded thicket. It was outside of Tennessee.
From my baby.
And I kind of got spooked, I'm like, it's one of those areas where you can barely see the sun. It was cloudy most of the time. And I got turned around and I'm like, something this ain't right here. So, no, I got through that. And then that one incident, I learned then not to panic. And I'm out there for a set amount of time, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm out there in the woods. I don't have to have a particular route. I would have a buddy of mine drop me off if he didn't go. Drop me off at the foot of a mountain there in Tennessee. Then I'd go up around off along the Squatchy River, and that's some cold water. That's 32 degrees year round, man. Anyway, I would go up around the old trails up in there. It's some old coal mines and stuff. You can see the oxen trails up there still there, just like they were put there an hour before you got there. I mean, it's amazing. I would have, drop me off, and I'd do 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, whatever, depending on the weather. And then I would have before I got dropped off, and then I would have my destination point. And then it was 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m. That's how I would, and they would be ready to pick me up during that time. But if I didn't get there by 3 or 4 o'clock, they'd call the Rangers. One time the Rangers, I always let them know what I'm doing. I don't never want to sneak up on a Ranger or somebody like that. And if you smell something sweet and if the moonshine still up there, get away from it. Leave it alone. I would let the Rangers know sometimes, when I go up down through there. And they respect that. And they, due to the weather conditions, they had me carry a satellite phone. And to this day, I don't know how to work it. I didn't have to use it. But anyway, I'd have set time to be picked up. They'd call the Rangers or whatever. But if you get lost out there, the fear of the unknown. If you can, try to do a Google Earth or a satellite. I think Eagle, there's a website of Eagle that can pretty much pinpoint areas that you wish to go practice and go out on trek, and do all that. There's a lot of sites out there. Some of them you got to pay for, but I guarantee you they're worth the money. You can look for, on the maps, you can look for openings and larger trees, smaller trees, formations, rock formations, creeks, things like that. You can look at all that stuff. And you can print it out or whatever, carry it with you. Like I say, it's the 21st century, so we can use technology to survive. Everybody does it every day, so. But the fear of the unknown, try to learn some different things, different methods, just because they say, I ain't into that. And that's what I said earlier when I was looking at, demonstrations of fire piston. I've never had one in my hand. I've had every other means in my hand. I've used every other means. But that's one thing I haven't done is a fire piston. I'm going to get one. Try it out. Pretty cool. But first off, I said, I don't need that. But then I got, slapping myself. It said, I'm telling people to do this, do that. I need to lead by example. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on getting one as soon as I can. And then I'll try it out. And hopefully this stuff clears out and I'm not working 12, 13 hours a day. I'll get out there and do my bow drill, my friction, and do all my different methods of stuff. Get back in tune with this, with the bug out portion of my videos. But fear of the unknown, always just learn something new. That's what I say on every video. Learn something new, primitive skills. You know, that's something somebody ought to have a little bit of knowledge in. You know, because it'll help out. Because worst case scenario, you don't even have a knife. Who's the guy that got his arm caught up in the box and stuff and had to break his own arm and use a penknife to cut his arm off, or he wouldn't have survived? He or she, I don't even remember who it was now. I think it was a gentleman. A lot of things you gotta be prepared. Get out there and work on some primitive skills. Look it up. There are a dime a dozen out there. You can find them. They're all pretty much the same, using base raw material to create and build and do all kinds of stuff, and medical, you know, properties out there and plants and stuff. I've got a bajillion freaking dandelions. I've been making tea, and it's got a lot of good vitamin sources in there. You can eat it like a salad. Just be sure and wash the dust. They collect a lot of dust. Be sure and, you know, rinse them off. Soak them, rinse them, soak them, rinse them. And, you know, put them in your salad and stuff. Take the root, dandelion root, clean it off. Boil it, make you a tea. I use the flowers, the yellow buds. And I'll, real hot water, and then I'll let them soak for a few hours. Strain it out, and then drink it as a tea. It's not bad. It doesn't have bad flavor. If you use sugar, use raw sugar. Try not to use that bleached white sugar. I try to stay away from that. I don't buy that. And start taking care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and take care of yourself. Learn primitive skills. Try something new. And be safe out there.